Well, you know. I mean, but you know what? At least my girls are together.
Yeah.
Up there watching the wrestling matches.
Right. Oh.
Yeah. And making all the stars up there.
What do you know about all the filth that's going on here, huh?
Can it back out?
Yes.
I hear nothing.
Yeah.
And I've tested and everything. I don't
Nice to
know.
see somebody so much of yes, huge wrestling fan.
We are, man.
Yeah, and I remember every time before I came here, whenever I would get a text saying, you know, are you here yet? Are you here yet?
That's late.
Oh yeah, Vicky and yeah.
She might have better success.
She was just telling me how they went to spread Leslie's ashes. Yeah, her and one of Leslie's friends. And,
Yeah, I know.
And they said they wanted to, you know, put hers and Kelly's together, but they said that like they sent Kelly's to like her dad, for the dad they said Kelly. That's what they were telling me. Yeah, they said so they said they don't understand why that even like happened. I said yeah, but yeah. 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 I know. Yes. Some people just don't have common sense. I mean, yeah. I'm working on it. People said they will be good.
right. Welcome. We are live. Live. It is Thursday, July 23rd in the year of our Lord. This is Regalwood Rasslin episode 17. Episode 17. Can you believe that nonsense? 17 episodes of this. And somehow we haven't been thrown off of any of the platforms just yet. I'll tell you about the platforms in just a minute, but first, let me tell you about me. I am your host, the most humble person on the face of the earth, probably the most humble man in the universe. I am Richard James Regal, the overlord of the wasteland, the engineer of combat, the big boss with the hot sauce and the star of this and every show that I appear on. I welcome you to episode 17. It is another week's gone by, another week of wrestling, and we're going to talk about some of that right here today on the Big Pro Grum. So got some housekeeping things, but before I do that, we're live right now on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Rumble, and Kick. YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Rumble, and Kick. All of those platforms we are live on, and we're available to you for you to enjoy. YouTube, of course, is Wrestle Radio 860, WRESTLERADIO 860 on YouTube, kind of the hub of all things Regal. That's where you can find out about what we did in the past, what we're currently doing, and what will be out there for you in the future regarding this program and other things that we've done along the way. Did a little cleaning up on the front page of the YouTube channel, so if you go over there, if you haven't been over there in a while, it'll look a little different to you. Change the way some of the stuff is presented, because I had a friend the other day pull up the live links or the live tab there, and none of the past shows came up. So we can't have that, right? So we went and we changed some stuff around, moved some things around. So if you the live podcasts should be easier to find now than they were previously. So that's just a couple of things that we've done. Of course, we're live on Twitch, Regalwood6969, Facebook, RIKKIREGAL, Rumble, and Kick, of course. And there's your mascot, the big bulldog, designed after yours truly. So, some housekeeping stuff today. We were supposed to have Dion for our interview, and some things came up on my end, and we weren't able to get it done. So Dion will be joining us next week for episode 18 for that big interview. But today, and I don't know how this is going to work, quite honestly, because we were going to have live updates from the floor of the Gathering VII that's currently happening down there in Charlotte, North Carolina, or up there. And we got a couple of friends that are there at the big gathering. Thomas is one and Lace is the other. And I have Thomas in, and he is he's at the problem is he can't hear me. I can hear him just fine. I can see what's going on. I'm looking at it right now in the control room. But he can't hear me. So I'm going to try to go live to Thomas here in a few minutes and see how we can make this thing work. He is currently, I see him, he's currently walking the floor of the big gathering event. So we're going to try to get him in and see if we can get him to at least tell you what's going on down there as he peruses the big gathering. Lace is there, or is on her way there. I've yet to hear from Lace today, so I don't know where she's at. So, as with always, this thing is held together by shoestring, prayers, and hope. And I'm running out of shoestring. The prayers aren't being answered, and hope is quickly waning. But there's always hope. I do see a live feed coming from Thomas there on the floor of the big gathering. So we'll check in with him, and I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Wanda says Lace is there, but I have yet to hear from. I'm yet to hear from Lace. I did send her that we're open and ready and running, but again, it's a work in progress, and you know how it goes. You know how it goes here at the big program. All right, before we get to any of that craziness, a little news. Going to talk about the past week here of what's going on, and I do have. I did watch the big. Necro Butcher versus Samoa Joe, Dark Side of the Ring. We'll go into a little bit of that. I'm not going to go deep into it at the beginning here because I want to get out there to Charlotte and see if we can get some kind of reporting done from the floor. Because again, I can see in my control room that Thomas is actively walking around and showing some things. So I want to get to him, even though he can't hear me. But we'll talk about the big Necro versus Samoa Joe deal. And I'm not a fan of either one of those guys. I'll just be honest. I never got Samoa Joe. I mean, I know he's a tough guy, and he wants you to believe he's a tough guy. But I think, and I know my opinion means nothing in the big scheme of things, but I think Samoa Joe believes his own press a little bit too much. The way he speaks to the camera. But I will give him credit for being most honest. The internet had worked themselves into a shoot about the whole thing, and he basically just says, look, man, I never trained anybody at the Ring of Honor. Those guys went up there and they shot an angle basically saying that I was their trainer, and I never trained anybody. And he was like, we did this thing. I didn't know anything about it, and I took the booking simply so I could go up there and see my girlfriend, who was his girlfriend, his current wife at the time. So I do appreciate the honesty coming from Joe. Necro, of course, still trying to sell it as something. But I just feel bad for that dude, Necro, man. I again, never been a fan of his. I think what he does is kind of goofy, and anybody could do it. Doesn't take a lot of skill to get your head bashed in. Let's just say, and I know people love him, and I know he's this hardcore legend and all that. But it does not take a ton of skill to get your face smashed in by slamming it or having it be slammed into the concrete floor. Dude's 52 and he's still out there doing that. God bless. We know wrestling's for everyone. But that thing was hard to watch. Some of that stuff was hard to watch. But we'll talk a little bit more about it maybe in as we move ahead. But what else? I had something else I wanted to. The big angle they shot between CM Punk there and Cody Rhodes. You won't understand this because it was a moment in time that happened some many years ago. Brody was in the ring, and I can't remember where it was that we did it, but we were in the ring and we were cutting promos. I don't remember if it was in Lawrence or if it was at WWC, but it was somewhere. And Brody takes his belt and slings it over his shoulder, and when it hits his back, he sells it as though it stung, and it was just a little nothing. It was a legitimate, it was nothing. And I don't know if anybody in the crowd caught it, but I did. And I don't know why that popped me, but it just made me laugh. And I never forgot it. It was just a little nothing. He just, you know how you sling the belt over and it slaps on your back, and most guys, yeah, I'm the champion or whatever. And he slaps the thing over and he goes, just a small little sell. But I laughed about it, and this thing with Cody and Punk reminded me of that, because Punk goes to throw the thing over his shoulder, and Cody had moved himself into position for it to hit him in the eye, and then of course they had a big and then they went backstage with it and get the cameras out of here. You did it on purpose. That type of silliness, which of course they're gonna turn into a continuing angle. But that was big news. Everybody was like, and again, I spoke about this a little bit last week. The fans will talk about not being able to be worked, and you guys get worked so easily. it's silly. Hang on a minute. I don't know. So now Thomas is not in the control room. So this may be the world's shortest episode of Regalwood Rasslin. We've been going 15. We may make it to 30 because I couldn't do the interview with Dion, which was initially set for today. And I apologize for that. That's my fault. We will have Dion next week. He's already scheduled, so we'll have him for 18. He won't be here today. And we were going to kind of go with this gathering thing, but apparently that's a cluster. So this may be the shortest broadcast of all time. I do have an old interview pulled up that I can run, and it's one that I was very proud of with Nikita and Neil Koloff. Daniel Cantrell wants to know if it was in Monroe, Georgia. I don't think that was in Georgia. I don't remember where it was exactly, Daniel. But it was, I want to say it was more local. It was either in Lawrence or it was at WWC when he did that little belt slap thing. And I don't know why that just made me laugh. But when I saw the Cody and CM Punk thing, it just reminded me of that. And I was like, you know how my brain, it kind of connects weird things, so that kind of connected, and I was like, that reminded me of that, and it was a good laugh. And again, I don't think it was so minute. I don't know that anybody even caught it other than me, but I catch every weird little thing, as you all know. I do have a most ridiculous pulled up for later in the show, which means probably here in a few minutes, because again, I was kind of counting on Lace and Thomas to be live reporting correspondence there, and it's all my, look, I always am going to take accountability. End of the day, I'm responsible for what goes out over these broadcast airwaves, and it with cell phone technology and cell service and internet services and all of these different, I have literally 10 apps going right now. It's lucky I get anything out to you, but this is what you get. So deal with it. We can replay the big Nikita and Neil interview. I enjoyed that interview. I think if you missed it, it's certainly worth checking out there on the YouTube channel, Wrestle Radio 860 on YouTube. Going to give Thomas a couple minutes here to pop back in and see if we can get it going. I don't see him anywhere, and I sent him a text, and I have still not heard back from Lace. So this was a good plan today. Great plan on the Regal Man. What do you guys want to talk about? Because signal stuck at that hotel. So maybe it's something having to do with the with their service there. I don't know. I'm not going to make excuses. Again, I'm responsible for what goes out over here, and I probably should have had a little bit more prepared in case of the worst. And here we are. Again, this could be the shortest episode ever. So we're 20 minutes, and I think we may go another few. Unless there's something, you guys want to talk about, because I got nothing. I was really going to rely on what came out of Charlotte, but that is what it is. I do appreciate those of you who have popped in today or who will pop in the future. Again, everything's up on the YouTube channel for those of you who may have missed it or may not have seen it previously. The last week's interview, of course, was with who do we have last week? I'm rattled now because I was expecting to have Ken Magnum was on last week, and of course Ken did a good, outstanding interview. Really honest, really open interview with Ken, and lots of good stuff coming out of that interview. If you missed that one, certainly go back and check it out. Check out all the stuff. And I do have the old Inside Wrestling Radio interviews. They're up there as well for if you missed any of those things, which some of that stuff's better than 10, 12 years old. So yeah, if you missed any of those things, they're all up there for your perusal on the Wrestle Radio 860 YouTube channel, which of course has been renamed Regalwood Rasslin, and that's all up there on the big YouTube channel. Twitch, of course, Regalwood 6969, Facebook, Ricky Regal, Rumble and Kick, or Regal Wood. All right, look, give me a minute here. Let me take a quick short break and see if I can get a hold of somebody to pull me out of this mess that we're spiraling into. Short show today looks like it's going to be, unless I decide to rerun the Nikita and Neil Koloff interview, which is in itself very interesting. Nikita, of course, just releasing a new book detailing the Best of Seven series, 40 years, I think, anniversary of that. That book was released, I think, last week or week before last. We talked about it here. And so it was good to talk to Nikita, of course, a legend in the professional wrestling. Take a quick break. Either I'll come back with some live updates, or we'll run the big Nikita interview, and then we'll come back with our most ridiculous and get you heck out of here for today, because this one is a horror show, and it ain't even Halloween yet. So appreciate you for sticking with me. I apologize for the inconveniences. This is episode 17. I don't know. Everything's a blur today. Be right back. We'll try to make something out of this mess right after the jump, right here on Regalwood Rasslin. Stand by. right, I'm back. So I'm gonna leave it to you guys. A couple of you in the Facebook chat. Leave it to you guys on Facebook. As a matter of fact, I don't know how to do it anymore. There used to be a way I could put a poll up in there. I'm not even gonna do that. If you want me to run the, if you want me to replay the Nikita thing, let me know in the chat comment. If not, I will, we'll go right to our ridiculous and get out of here because I can't get Thomas on the phone. Apparently, Lace doesn't have her phone with her. I don't, okay. So, this mess cannot be salvaged. We are in a downward spiral. We're crashing. We're headed to the ground with no shot of the engines coming back on today. So, it is what it is. So, drop me a comment in the chat if you want me to run the Nikita thing. I will. If not, we'll go right to our ridiculous and we'll get the heck out of here and we'll try it again next week because I've already covered all the news I wanted to cover, and I was really counting on some good reporting from the floor of the big gathering. But you know, things happen. Wanda said she wanted to talk to Missy about her upcoming show. We will do that. I actually owe Missy a phone call, so Missy Childers, I will be calling you as soon as I get a minute to discuss what you wanted to discuss, and we'll get you or somebody from the event on coming up as we move closer to it. Don't forget the big show Sunday over in Abbeville. Regal will most likely make an appearance. As far as I know, that's the plan as of right now. Tell you what, I'm not going to beat you up with this mess anymore today. We're going to head and go to our ridiculous and we'll get out of here. Big 30-minute show today. So y'all can get the heck out of here and go on with your day. I've been running over for the last several weeks, so we'll cut this one short, I guess, because everything's falling apart at the seams. I want to salvage what little bit of respect we have here. Cruiser votes in, we'll take it home. Yeah, we'll definitely take it home, Cruiser, because this one this feels like a squash job. Not just a job, like I can take doing the job, but this one feels like a squash, like I'm in there as a Mokia against Doom when they debuted or something like that. That's how bad it is. Maybe like Don Kernoodle when he was jobbing. I think Todd will enjoy that one from the chat. All right, so with all of that said, friends, I do appreciate you. It has been this has been a nightmare. But things happen, you know. They can't all be excellent. I'm always excellent. Let's be clear on that. But sometimes things happen outside of my control to make it not excellent. So yeah, this is definitely a squeeze, Ash. All right, so we're gonna go to the most ridiculous, and I'm gonna let you guys get out of here. We'll try this foolishness again the next week. I apologize again. Whatever goes out on these airwaves is I'm responsible for, so probably should have prepared for the worst, and that's on me. That's on me. I take responsibility for it, and if it turns you off from this program, then I can certainly sympathize. Hey man, it is what it is. All right, enough of my blither blather. Let's go over to our most ridiculous, and we'll call it a day. So this is again from our friends over at Not Falling Studios on YouTube. If you're not following Not Falling Studios, you need to follow them because they daily come up with some gold. Clip I'm going to show you is from IWA Mid-South. And the way this all happened in the same show. All of these things, there's several cut clips of different things that happen at this IWA Mid-South. I guess the show was titled It's a Mystery, and this is the third installment of It's a Mystery from IWA Mid-South. I don't know who any of these people are doing these things. But again, from what I'm understanding, this is all in the same show. So you tell me after we're done, and this is 48 seconds. It'll feel like another hour. So that'll buy some time, right? It's 48 seconds. But if all of this happened in the same show on the same night, tell me what differentiates one thing from the other. Because it's, well, you'll see, but it's all basically the same crap. Now, I'm sure there's IWA supporters out there who will want to fight me and call me all kind of names, but tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to let you judge for yourself. Presented without further comment, my friends, this is our most ridiculous item of the week. Shall we? Get out of the way. That's my fault.
Michinoku driver through the. Oh my God!
Whack it
Oh my! Big spear! Oh my God!
through. I think we might. Oh, there's a storm. You.
Oh! She. Oh my!
Oh, Koger playing possum.
Oh my!
Tubes. Oh.
Oh!
Christ.
Oh!
She's
Oh!
going
Power slam off the apron through the. Versing it.
Oh,
Suplex! Suplex!
for. Welcome to.
Oh! 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 It's a destroyer! Oh my God!
So that happened. Let me ask you one thing, and you know me, I always tell you, watch your crowd. Did you watch the crowd in that one? There was no crowd. There was no crowd at this event. There was maybe 4 people sitting around a table, and the one short clip you get of them in one of those spots is there. Nobody's looking at the ring. So my question is, why? Who are you doing this for? That amount of violence, that amount of, Steve called it, SWAT called it. There was, again, Steve, and you're right, and that was my point. There is nobody there watching this. So who are you doing this to yourself for? And I bring it back around to the Necro Butcher and Samoa Joe thing. At least for that, there was a house. There in the ECW arena, that thing had taken a life of its own. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It's worth a watch. Just because I'm not a fan of those guys doesn't mean you shouldn't go give that a watch, because it is a decent watch. Some of it is quite hard to watch because it gets a little bit gory. Necro goes through a light bulb tube and literally rips open the back of his arm, and it looks like something. You remember with Jaws? Remember the movie Jaws, when the shark had bitten a piece out of somebody, and the leg, when he bites off the leg and the leg's floating down. I spent too many time in front of the TV when I was a kid, but and there's skin and sinew hanging off of it. That's what you see, and they don't blur it. They let it right out there for you. Do a little bit of blurring, but you can still see the meat hanging and blood. They try to cover it a little bit with the whatever that is, the blur effect, but it you can still clearly see what's going on. But to my point, at least that was in front of people. And again, it had built itself from a post in a chat room about Ring of Honor being so much better than these trash wrestlers, whatever. You again, go watch it for yourself. But at least they were doing it in front of people, and they, ostensibly, I'm sure they got paid. Joe's not going to do anything he didn't get paid for. Is there anyone in WWE or TNA you would want to work? Myself, now Missy Childers. Maybe back in the day, of course, there was tons of people in there that I would have loved to have gotten in the ring with. But now, I can't think of any. I can't think of anybody at the moment that I would like to. Well, for several reasons. One being I'm old and broken, so I ain't getting in the ring with nobody. But back in the day, sure, there was tons of folks I would have loved to have worked with. Tons of them. But finishing up here about our most ridiculous, again, and you see it. But we'll play it again because we ain't got nothing but time. we'll play it again. Again, it's 48 seconds long. Remember to watch your crowd. Number one, there is no crowd. The split second you do see a crowd, watch where they're looking. They're looking away from this mess. Like they're having their own gathering over there in the corner. And again, supposedly all this happened in the same show at this IWA Mid-South titled It's a Mystery 3 being the name of the show. So watch it again. Pay attention to what's going on around all this mess that's happening in the ring and ask yourself, why? Why are you doing this and who are you doing it for? Because clearly nobody came to see this stupidity. And if you're selling this crap online, you need to be investigated because who do you think wants to buy this? Watch it again. 48 seconds of your life that you'll never get back, but at least we're here together going through it. Check it out. 48 seconds of crazy.
Michinoku driver!
Oh, God, that was wrong. It wouldn't be. Michinoku driver! Sorry.
I think we might. Oh, there's a storm. You.
Oh! Oh, my.
Oh, Koger playing pop.
Oh, my.
Tubes.
Oh.
Chris.
Oh! Oh! Power slam off the apron through the person it. Oh, suplex.
Welcome to.
Oh! 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 It's a destroyer! Oh my God! Oh!
So there it is, in all its glory. The I just don't know. I just don't know who are we doing this for? There's nobody there watching it live. And do you know how easily those light bulb spots could go terribly, terribly wrong? Terribly wrong. It happened to one of those people. They did a whole Dark Side of the Ring on it a couple of seasons ago, where the light tube literally cut an artery in one of those guys. I don't know if it was his side or stabbed him and cut his artery and damn near died right there. I think he did die and they got him back. I don't remember his name. But I just don't understand why. Why do we do this? And if you're making $1 million, get it. Like I said on a previous show right here. Go get your money, kid. But you're not going to tell me they're making a mint doing that stupidity in front of nobody. So, that's your most ridiculous item of the week. Again, it comes from IWA Mid-South. I have no idea who they are. None of the people is involved in that. But and then the announcers with that oversell. Everything's not oh my God. Everything they should be saying, you guys are idiots. You guys are idiots. Oh my God, how idiotic are you guys? Scary things, scary times, man. But they continue to do it, and I know that there's an audience for it. I'm not of that audience, but it is what it is. All right. Guys, again, I apologize for this mess of a show today. It has really been an embarrassment of riches here today with all the failures and all that stuff. Missy, you popped in after we were talking about you. I will a clean road story. I don't know that I have any. Clean? Missy, you were around back in those days, and without breaking kayfabe. I mean, you knew us back then. You knew us back in the day, me and Mickey Free. You hear my dog? The FedEx guy just showed up, so he'll bark for a good 5 minutes. Yeah, Missy wants a clean road story. I'll have to think. I tell you what, though, speaking of road stories, if you haven't read the Metro column that's up there on the Facebook channel, the Facebook page, it's up on the Regalwood Rasslin page. If you haven't subscribed to that yet, do it. And all the updates about upcoming shows and all that stuff's presented there. And but if you haven't read the Metro column, that's a good one. That's a long one. It tells the story of a bunch of guys who thought they were going to get famous and ended up working somewhere they never would have expected. This is the hell that is my life today. I don't know what I was thinking, but I should have just skipped this one altogether. All right, friends. I appreciate you all for coming in. Missy, you and I will talk soon. We'll discuss the things you wanted to discuss, and we'll have you or somebody on from the show. Let the fans interview me one day. Well, we did that, Missy. If you remember, we did the AMA some time ago. They asked me anything, and we did that a few weeks ago when we didn't have a guest. We may do an AMA again in the future. I don't know. We'll see. But we'll definitely do that again if we can maintain this show, because I can feel it slipping through my fingers the more I talk today. It just ain't happening today. I do appreciate you. Our YouTube is Wrestle Radio 860, Wrestle Radio 860 on YouTube. Twitch, of course, Regalwood 6969. Facebook, Ricky Regal, RKKI. Rumble and Kick, of course, are Regalwood, respectively. Look for the Bulldog and you're in the right place. We will we'll try this again next week. Hopefully it'll be better. Dion will be on next week. We're going to finish up with him a little bit later and have him in the in for our interview guest for episode 17. That's coming up next Friday. That'll be Friday, 3 p.m. coming up. And if you missed any or all of this nonsense or any of the previous nonsense, it's all right there in perpetuity on the good old YouTube channel. Again, Wrestle Radio 860. Sometimes I'm the bug. Yeah, and I got squashed today, Cruiser. Got the squash match. Got squashed in my own show. That's what makes it so bad. I feel like I've done the job for myself. All right, without continuing this embarrassment any longer, I'm going to get out of here. I appreciate y'all for popping in, and those of you that will pop in the future. Some of the other ones are better. I don't know that we'll ever get a worse one. So, hey, we got our bad show out of the way. We got it out of the way. We don't have to worry about it again for another 17 episodes, which is dynamite if you ask me. All right, friends, I'm done. Try it again next week right here on Regalwood Rasslin, and until then.